Hello, Junior Church, and welcome to another Junior Church lesson via YouTube. All right, this week we're going to talk about being kind to animals. And I bet many of you have animals and know very well how to be kind to them. But we're going to look at some pictures of some friends of mine who have learned how to be kind to animals. And then we're going to read the story of Noah's Ark. And it's a story about how kind Noah was to animals during a big storm. So let's start, though, by first, guess what? Yep, you got it, going over our 4 principles. All right, as I said, season for nonviolence, week 3, be kind to animals. But our 4 principles, God is all there is. Let's just take a moment and take a deep breath and see if we can feel God energy flowing through us. One more deep breath. So nice to feel that love of God and God as spirit just flowing through us. All thought is creative and influential. So you know how to make your experience wonderful. Everything is either a call for love or an expression of love, no exceptions. So you know the difference between a call for love or an expression of love, but it's all God. So you get to choose how to respond. And the last one, you are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now. So it's just, again, comforting to know that right where you are, God is, because you are as God. So let me show you some pictures of my friends. Here's a friend that got a new dog and had to give the dog a bath. Have you ever had to give your dog a bath? It's actually being very kind to the dog, because some dogs get all matted and that's not very comfortable for them. So giving dogs a bath is one way to be kind to them. Here's another friend of mine who has 2 cats, and she loves her cats so much. She plays and plays with them. I bet some of you have cats. Cats are different than dogs for sure. Sometimes cats like to ignore you until they want to be petted. I had a cat one time that woke me up every morning by pulling on my hair. She'd climb into bed and bite my hair until I would get up and feed her. So I had to be kind to her, or she wasn't so kind to me. This is a friend that learned how to be kind to a giant tortoise. Now, tortoises can even be much bigger than this, but this was a very special day where a person that takes care of all different kinds of animals came to visit him and showed him how to hold this tortoise and how to be kind to the tortoise. I know going to the zoo can be a very fun experience. I love to go to the Sacramento Zoo, and I feel like they're doing their very best to be kind to all their animals. They're always working on the habitats to try to make them better, to make them more like the animals' natural habitats, so that they feel right at home. And so there's a couple pictures of the zoo, Sacramento Zoo, and some friends of mine at the zoo. There's the lion, and here's the giraffes. You can feed the giraffes at the zoo. My grandkids love to feed the giraffe. And then here's my friend again who had that person teaching him how to be kind to animals. She's teaching him how to be kind to 2 different reptiles, to an iguana and a snake. And then she also taught him how to be kind to this little mammal. I have another friend that raises bunnies, and I actually used to own a bunny, and I had to learn how to be kind to a bunny because I had never had one before. So I learned that they need to chew on something in order to keep their teeth filed down, because their teeth can overgrow and then they can't eat or chew properly to swallow their food. So I loved my bunny, and we had him for quite a while. We actually litter trained him just like you would a cat, so he could hop around our house. But the kindest thing to do for him was to keep all of our wires away from him, because he would have chewed through a wire and maybe gotten shocked or hurt. So, but this friend of mine raises these little bunnies, and I just love looking at them from when they're first born to when they got older. These are dwarf bunnies, so they don't get to be super huge. Mine was a dwarf bunny as well, but it got bigger than this. And then I have friends that have chickens, and they've raised them from baby chicks, and they had to build a coop so that the chicken could live in the coop. When I was growing up, I had chickens too, so I know all about going out and hunting for eggs. Maybe some of you have chickens. I would love to hear about any pets that any of you have. I've had all different kinds. I've had a dog, a cat, I've had a horse, I've had a steer that I took to the fair. And I've had a bunny, as I told you, and I had guinea pigs, and I raised guinea pigs for a while. So, and I've had hamsters and gerbils. So I've had all different kinds of animals in my life. Hopefully you have too, because animals can bring such great joy and be so fun, but being kind to them is really, really important. So I'd love to hear any stories you have about your pets and being kind to animals, so that when we celebrate at the end of Season for Nonviolence, I can include you and your story about your animal and how you were kind to it. All right, let's read the book, Noah and the Ark. We'll explore how kind Noah was to the animals and see if you can identify any of these animals as I read the book. Birds, Beasts, Critters, and Creatures, the story of Noah's Ark, written by Jimmy Lin and illustrated by Anna Nguyen. The largest thunderstorm the world had ever seen covered God's great earth, all things growing and green. Washing the land of all that's not good, he chose a man named Noah to build an ark of wood. With the boat near completion and only 7 days to spare, Noah beckoned all animals, every boy and girl pair. At first came the birds, by waddle and by flight, then reptiles and mammals, loading day and night. Another clap of thunder as the water began to rise, crisp bolts of lightning as the waves grew in size. Spooky nocturnal creatures who only come out at night, scorpions, bats, and even the spiders. Noah made sure they're all right. Tigers don't like baths, and cheetahs can't stand the rain. After 40 stormy nights, the kitty cats went insane. At the back of the boat, with strong winds and a howl, the dogs all greet Noah, big wags and no growl. Creaking and cracking, the ark cut through the waves, the noisy wooden sounds called fish from their caves. In the belly of the great ark, where giraffes and zebras hung out, packed together so tightly they could hardly move about. But the noisiest pairs came from birds of a feather, with toucans and peacocks. They all squawked together. Cold-blooded creatures need warmth to be strong. Noah promised them sunshine. Soon the clouds would be gone. As the downpour continued and the hard winds did blow, a glimmer of sunshine slowly warmed the rhino. The polar bears welcomed Noah with his red cheeks aglow. The best place on the ark is where penguins dance in the snow. With creepy crawler features, bugs can be scary and gross, but most are quite beautiful. Just take time to look close. Monkeys are mischievous like kids on a sugar kick, stealing fruit from the ark. Those climbers are quick. As the sun shined upon the water, the ark sped toward dry land. All of the animals had made it and would soon touch the sand. After 40 days of adventure and 40 moons of good night, life would begin again, a fresh rainbow and sunlight. So Noah took really good care of these animals during the big storm. For 40 days, he took care of them. So I think that's a fun story to remind us to be kind to animals. And I know you all, when you see animals, are kind to them. Well, that's all I have for this week. So I'll see you next week for the February 20th to February 27th week of Season for Nonviolence. And our theme will be pointing out historical events of nonviolence. If you know of any and want to send them to me, then I'll include them in next week's video. So until then, stay safe, wear masks, wash your hands, and keep safe space. We love you so much. See you next time.